Hey you guys, it's Kristina. Today I would love to talk to you about cultural barriers when starting to eat fully raw, when going vegan or vegetarian, and then discussing some of the societal pressures or the peer pressures around adapting to a new lifestyle, around eating a new diet, changing your food habits, how other people react, how you feel about the situation, how you react to the situation, and so much more. This is one of the most frequently asked questions that I get, is how to deal with family, how to talk to other people when first approaching this lifestyle, when people have issues with you changing your diet, how do you approach it? And legitimately so, these are important topics, they're important questions, and I know that this is a sensitive topic and so many people take it to heart because there's so many people that we love who may not share our passion for health or eating, but it's still important to communicate and it's still important to keep these people in our lives and to love them, and there's ways to get around that. So I'm going to be sharing with you my experience with the situation and how I overcame it, and I'm going to be sharing with you my tips and my tools and my tricks on how you can create more loving and balanced relationships in this arena in your life as well. For those of you who know me, I'm half Lebanese and half Ecuadorian. My mother is Lebanese, my father's Ecuadorian. I grew up in a very culturally divided and mixed household. I speak Spanish, little Arabic, speak English, and I grew up eating no American food. And by no American food, I mean I grew up eating basically just my mother's Lebanese food. Grape leaves, kibenaye, hummus, tabbouleh, and then like my father's side of the family, which is just chicken, beans, and rice fried every night with tomato sauce. And food in my family is everything. It's a connection with people, sitting in the kitchen and talking with people, talking with family. Everything revolves around the kitchen in my house. And when I got sick, which many of you know my story, but when I got sick, I'm pretty sure I developed my type 2 diabetes because I grew up eating a very high-fat diet, lots of olive oil, lots of my mother's Lebanese food, and while it was delicious, it got me sick. It got me pretty sick. And so when I changed my diet, it wasn't just a change of diet. My family saw it as a change of lifestyle. My mother saw it as an abandonment of our culture, and she had a very difficult time adjusting to this. We went years without actually communicating and with having banterings about this and disagreeing about food. There was one point where she thought I just had this horrible eating disorder and she wanted to send me away to like some horse camp in Arizona, and she literally thought I was losing my mind just because I wanted to eat fruits and vegetables. Now here's the weird thing, is that my dad, my sister and my brother were very, very, very understanding, and they stood by my side and they supported me by this, even though they had no idea what I was doing. Most people thought I was crazy because I wasn't cooking my food, I just wanted to eat fruits and vegetables. My dad came around a little later. My mom took years to come around to accept this. Even though I was in college at the time when I first started like really blossoming, I was making straight A's, I was doing so well, I was happy, I put on the weight I needed to put on, my hair started coming back in, my skin was glowing, my digestion was great. It's like every single part of me was so happy. And it's very difficult for someone to see you that happy and to continue denying that like something is wrong, right? My mother started to come around when we started really doing Marshall Rosenberg's Nonviolent Communication series and talking with each other about how we felt about this situation. Like, I feel hurt because you're not eating my food, and for me it feels like a cultural abandonment, and I feel like you're no longer a part of the family. And there were a lot of emotions surrounding this issue. More so than most families, just because my family is very culturally rooted. But the most beautiful part about this is that the food, the experience of this, me changing my lifestyle, my diet, all of this brought about the opportunity to communicate with my family and share my emotions and bring about a greater level of healing, which ultimately brought us so much closer. Once they understood that this wasn't about me, punishing them or trying to leave the family or give up my culture or something like that, and they realized that I was doing it for my health and to be happy, they began to be more receptive to it and open to it. And then that is when I started to create dishes that were raw, that kind of mimicked other cooked dishes. Like tabbouleh was something I was easily able to convert over into a raw vegan platform or raw vegan dish, right? And then, things like pasta with marinara, instead of using like grain pasta, using zucchini and making my own tomato sauce. Making raw fettuccine alfredo, making a raw lasagna, starting to make different dishes that resembled older cooked dishes but that were raw vegan was a huge help for me, because then I was able to go to social events and social settings and partake in eating and in a social setting with people where I could celebrate and share with them and not just like seclude myself. One of the most important things that I've learned along the way is that the second you begin to hide what you are doing or not talk about it or act as if you're ashamed or just hold it within and not share it, people think that something is wrong with you. The second that you start opening up about what you're doing and talking about it with people and sharing this gift and becoming excited about it, most people become excited about it with you. They get intrigued and their first initial response is, oh, I want to try that too, right? Because people want to celebrate something with you that is fun and joyful and that feels good. And there's nothing that makes you feel better than eating healthy food, because physically it affects you. And when you feel physically good, it affects your mental state and your spiritual state, and you feel connected and happy with pretty much everything around you. So those of you who are really struggling with cultural barriers or societal barriers in changing your lifestyle, I just want to say, don't give up. If anything, begin to share your passion of this lifestyle with other people. Reach out to other groups, get that kind of support team. Learn how to make recipes that may be perhaps resemble other recipes of ones that you're used to eating, and share those with people. Find vegan restaurants, go and sit and talk with people at those restaurants too. And when it comes to your family, the best thing you can do is communicate. Share how you're feeling, why you want to eat this way. Is it about health for you? Is it about ethics? Is it about physicalities? Does it make you feel good? There's a million different reasons. Everybody has a different reason for wanting to eat healthy. It could be mental, physical, or spiritual. But communication is everything. Expressing how you feel and why you feel this way. I promise that people who love you unconditionally and who really want to support you and love you will understand, and they will be there to support you along the way, even if they don't understand and even if they don't want to jump in it with you. Something else that I want to say is, for the people who aren't accepting, you must keep in mind that change is very difficult for a lot of people, right? Change is very difficult for a lot of people. And so when you're attached to somebody and you love somebody and you share a very close bond with them, and you're like this, and one person decides to change and the other person isn't ready to change, what happens? Typically they tend to fall apart a little bit, because if one person is gonna level up, the other one, if they're not ready, they're just gonna level down a little bit, or they're gonna stay there, and they may not want to rise and meet you where you're at. And that's okay, because everybody is at a different place in their life. Everybody is on a different path. But you have to show compassion, and you just have to remember that the people who love you will be there to support you along the way. It may mean tightening up your circle just for a little bit of time until you figure out yourself and become strong within. But once you do that, you will really affirm yourself on the inside. You'll be able to create that balance that you want and move forward. And I promise, when you make these steps towards self-love, for you, you will end up being happier. Never ever base your choices on what you're going to do to make other people happy. You have to do what makes you happy, because ultimately you are the one who has to live with yourself at the end of the day, every day. And you cannot make your choices based upon what others will think of you or what others will do or their reaction. you have to love yourself first. Let's talk for a quick second, a long quick second about peer pressure. You're out in a social setting with friends and they all order everything on the menu and you're stuck there with like, I'm gonna order a salad and a fruit plate, right? And you're sitting at the table and they're all like, just have a bite of my chicken, just have a bite of this, just have a bite of that, it won't hurt you. But in your mind, you're thinking like, am I strong enough to say no? I don't wanna be the outcast here. Oh, they brought me a salad and it has cheese on it. Do I send it back? Do I be awkward? It's in those moments where you just have to ask yourself, like, what is it that I want? Am I brave enough to express my needs? And am I courageous enough to stand up for what I believe in or to do what I really want to do in those moments? It's so easy to sell yourself short and to say, I'll just make this exception one time. I'll just do it tonight and then I'll start again tomorrow. How many times have you said that to yourself in your life? I'm sure many times, right? But the thing is that you always end up feeling resentment afterwards in moments like that. If you can, and if you have a choice, which you always have a choice, and if you have the ability to make a choice or a change in that moment, be strong enough to do it because you're going to celebrate that victory so much the next day or later down the road, and you'll be so glad that you did it. Someone once told me that having resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. So let's say that you're sitting at this table and all your friends want you to eat that piece of chicken or eat that piece of meat or eat something that you don't want to eat. The next day you're gonna feel bad about yourself because you made a choice to make them happy and not to make yourself happy. That doesn't feel good. That doesn't feel good at all. As hard as it may be sometimes, I think that to go into a situation like that and be sure that you communicate as much as possible. Tell your friends, hey, let's go somewhere where we can find foods that I can eat. Tell the waiter before they bring it out, be sure no cheese on my salad or no meat on my salad, or I'm like, on a special diet, can you meet this need for me? That type of communication really helps beforehand so you don't find yourself in a situation where you feel awkward expressing your needs later on. And keep in mind, and I'll keep saying this again, that people who love you and who support you and want to be there for you aren't really gonna care what your diet is. Yeah, they may ask you questions, yeah, they may think it's funny, they may joke around with you a bit, but the people who really love you, they're gonna celebrate it with you. They may not partake in it with you, but they're gonna celebrate it with you. Surround yourself with people who vote your victories. I'm gonna say that again. Surround yourself with people who vote your victories. This is how you are going to find happiness and success and joy in your life. Nobody got time for negativity anymore. Say that, bye-bye, right? Nobody got time for that. When it comes to family, the best advice I can give you is to just love. Love them, love yourself, show compassion. If you really are on this journey to veganism or to raw foodism or to being fully raw, whatever it may be, compassion is key. Compassion is so much key in this because it requires so much understanding of yourself and of the situation at hand and what's happening that you may have to be the bigger person a lot of the time, but that's how you grow, that's how you evolve, that's how you are able to change yourself and also maybe perhaps create a ripple effect of positive change around you as well. Be strong, stand confident. This is all about learning how to love yourself and respect yourself and make positive choices along the way. Ultimately, you don't need anybody else's support other than your own. If this is something you really want to do, you will do it because where there's a will, there's a way. I feel like this video is just only scratching the surface of this topic because we could go in way deeper about cultural barriers eating fully raw, about societal pressures and peer pressures in eating this lifestyle. So I want to open this up to a conversation. I want people to ask all of your questions below, and I think that this is a great start for me to begin to talk about these things on my channel a little bit more, address people's questions, give people guidance, give them hope and inspiration on eating healthier in a world that doesn't support healthful living. Let's do this together, yes? If you guys have liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Comment below, ask me your questions, and if you wouldn't mind, hit that subscribe button. just do it, you guys. Hit the subscribe button and turn on my notifications, that little bell right there. That way you can get notified every time I upload a video. I love having you be a part of my community. I love making videos for you. I love living this lifestyle with all of you. And I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. Thank you for being here with me. If you want to follow me on my social media, hit me up on Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter, Insta Stories, Snapchat, blah, 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 everything. At FullyRaw and FullyRawKristina. Alright, you guys, I'm gonna go get ready for my next video. Go enjoy this beautiful day here, and I hope that you get to go and do the same. Sending you all my hugs and my love. Bye.
I got this feeling rising through the ceiling, singing.